Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jarvis here. You are with me on my IG, my FB. You're on Wisdom with me, and you are also on Wisdom app. If you're with me on the Wisdom app, we're gonna have a great conversation tonight. We're gonna be talking about. We're still talking about being a voice and not an echo. So this is going to be part two of being a voice and not an echo. And tonight we're gonna focus on taking control of our voice. And the reason we're going to focus on taking control of our voice is because there's too many of us that have allowed other people to have control of our voices. And with the control of our voices that people have, it's just time for us to take control back. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all about uh, allowing people to speak into my life. I'm all about the balance of listening to the right things and doing the right things. But I've found and I've learned that there are so many of us that just allow people to have too much control, things to have too much control, our past to have too much control in our lives, causing us to be in situations where we deal with self-doubt, to be in situations where we feel like we can't accomplish things, to be in situations where we literally no longer have a voice, right? And the reason I'm bringing that up is because it's something that's near and dear to my heart. Like, we're in the new year, we're starting fresh, and for us to start fresh and to start new, we got to run in the right direction. But in order for us to run in the right direction, we have to literally take control. And it's going to start by identifying, defining. I'm going to do a quick recap of yesterday. This be a voice, not an echo piece is going to be it's going to be a couple episodes long. But before I start digging in, and I'm going to dig into things like, being a voice in the workspace. I'm going to dig into things like being a voice on your team, being a voice in your family, being a voice as a parent, being a voice as a spouse, being a voice as a leader. Like, I'm going to touch on all of those different topics. Some of those may run in with each other, but I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. All right. Give me a quick second here. Let me get Instagram set up properly, because it looks like Instagram is having some issues over here. It's okay. We're going to get everybody in here on the same page. You know what I'm saying? But man, the matter of fact, while I do this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start us off with the commercial. Why not start us off with the commercial so that I can get everything set up and then just go dive in. So I see people jumping in. What's up over here? I see, hey, what's up, Tanine? How you feeling? So, we're going to get in on this. And tonight's topic, again, for everybody is being a voice, not an echo, taking control of your voice. Taking control of your voice. So I'm going to run this commercial now. And then after this commercial, we'll jump right into it.
Hey, what are you waiting for? Go register for the Impact Rally now.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back in Facebook and YouTube. We were able to get our stuff taken care of over there on the other outlets. I've got Wisdom here with me. Just a quick shout out to everybody who's joined in, who's tuned in already. We're about to make this thing happen. It's about to go down. And I will tell you this, at the end of this, hopefully you'll have a better understanding of what it means to be a voice and not an echo. Hopefully we'll give you some clarity. I am going to do a quick recap on some of the things that we touched on yesterday. And so some of the things that we touched on yesterday, just so that everybody's on the same page. I know we had a lot of guests come in yesterday, which is always cool with me. I enjoy having guests, and I want to welcome you all to jump in the conversation if you would like to be a part of the conversation at some point. And I will hold everybody to the 5 minutes. And the reason I'm going to hold everybody to the 5 minutes is because I want to be fair to everyone who wants to be able to jump in and have a piece in the conversation. But tonight, being a voice, not an echo, over on Wisdom, it only gave me enough space to say control of your voice, but that it's actually taking control of your voice. So for everybody, if you have a pen and paper, you want to write that down. Taking control of my voice. Quick recap from yesterday. One of the things that I talked about early on is that many people have lost their voices. And when I say you lost your voice, I'm not saying you're running around here hoarse, meaning like that you're speaking with a whisper. I'm saying that you literally have lost your voice. You are not the loudest voice in your ear. There are so many things from your past. There are so many things that have spoken to you that are dictating to you what your future is going to look like. And we are here now in a moment where we have the ability to take this thing to the next level. We're in a new year, you all. A brand new year. We're in a brand new year. It's a brand new season. You have all your goals, your visions and your dreams and your aspirations written down. But the problem is, although you have those things written down, we are creatures of habit, and your habits have got to change. There's things that have got to be, they just got to be done differently. And I want to break down some things, and like I said, give you some things to take away tonight, because as we continue on with this, we're going to talk about being a voice in your workspace. We're going to talk about being a voice as an executive leader, as a manager. We're going to talk about being a voice as a coach, as a mentor. We're going to talk about being a voice as a parent, as a spouse, as a friend. We're going to talk about all of those things. But before we can get there, we have to be clear on what it means to actually be a voice and understand that your voice matters. And in your ears, you have control of what your voice sounds like. A lot of us don't feel like, we don't understand that we have that control. There's things that you've heard me talk about social media and the news and media platforms. And I was studying out some things today, and I saw some stuff, and I'm like, wow, that is so crazy. It is so true. It's exactly what I've been saying. And now I have some data to back it up. And so I'm excited to share that stuff with you as well. So we're going to take this thing to the next level. Like I said, uh, I'm just going to dive into today. I was going to do a recap of yesterday, but I want to dive into today. So being a voice and not an echo. So first of all, what does it mean to be a voice? When I am saying to be a voice, what this means is to allow who you are, your truth, to shine out. There's a way to do that in a sense of, it can be respected, it can be heard, it can be received well. But then there's also a way of doing that where when you say stuff, people are looking at you like you're crazy, because sometimes people will get into that space of saying, I'm just being me. I'm using my voice. I'm being heard. Okay, yeah, you can be heard, and in your space of being heard, what are you actually saying to people? What is the you that you're putting out to people? Are you being heard based off of something that somebody else said, which then rolls into being an echo? So being a voice is your singular voice, your thoughts, your belief system, your truths, your experience, your lived experiences, your skill set. All of these things roll into your voice because they belong to you. It's something that was given to you. And I want to be able to add balance before, at some point, and I'm going to talk about being a voice and not an echo. And you taking control of your voice. And the reason I keep saying taking control of your voice is because I'm going to go back and I'm going to help us identify where our voices were taken away from us. We've heard of things called self-fulfilling prophecies. That's your voice being taken away from you. One thing that I've learned is that no one in this world will ever rise above the opinions that they have of themselves. No one will ever rise above the opinions that they have of themselves. I was having a conversation with somebody. As a matter of fact, I have clients that I've sat down, I've had this same conversation with, and they believe some of the worst things about themselves. And the reason they believe some of the worst things about themselves are the voices that they heard in their ear that somebody else was speaking to them as a child. In the first 7 years of our lives, those are the most formative years of our lives. Matter of fact, the thing that separates us from like 99.999% of the animal kingdom is the fact that we have a frontal lobe that allows us to think and to like make conscious decisions, like to say, hey, this is what I want to do, to be intentional about the things that we're doing, right? That is like that separates us. That, however, is not activated really fully until we're about 7 years old. So because that's not activated until we're about 7 years old, if you think about it and you think about all the things that are said to us at a young age, those start to curve the way that we think about ourselves. Remember what I said just a moment ago, people will never rise above the opinions that they have of themselves. It's not, I didn't make that up. I didn't, I guess I did read it somewhere. But I'm sharing that with you because it's a truth. People who have these low opinions of themselves will never rise above that opinion that they have of themselves. The question is, whose voice was what had spoke that to them that they continue to echo to this day, that's stopping them from moving forward and who they're designed to be, who they're destined to be, who the world needs them to be, right? So there's so many things that can go along with this, but let's go back into this conversation. So let me give you this story. So let's say that I have Lil J, right? I got Lil J with me. Lil J is probably like 5 or 6 years old. Matter of fact, let me give you this story. So you have a husband and a wife. They wake up in the morning. Husband and wife get into it. They husband's like he's tripping because he's trying to figure out how am I gonna make sure that all these bills are taken care of. The light bill came back way higher than it did last month. They didn't give me my bonus the way that they said they were going to give me my bonus. So he's running through all of these things in his mind, right? So he's leaving and he's like, babe, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Lil Man with me. We're gonna go to the store. So he takes Lil Man with him to the store. They go to the store, they're walking through the store, and as they get to the counter, and this is how it works. All of the things that Lil Man wants, and he's only like 5 years old, are at his eye level. So when he's looking at this, he's like, yo, I want a candy bar. I want a candy bar because he sees his favorite candy bar that's at his eye level, right? This is how it's set up. We've all been in the store, when you can be at the grocery store and you get to your checkout, and right behind you are all of your favorite candy bars, all of your favorite snacks, like they're all right there. They even got it set up to where they have drinks and everything now, right? So Lil Man sees this and he's asking for it. Now you have to remember, Lil Man has no understanding of debt. He has no understanding of work. He has no understanding of the light bill. He just knows the lights are on. But he's going and he's asking dad, like, yo, dad, can I have this candy bar? Dad is like, no. Now, what Lil Man doesn't see is he doesn't see the frustration that's on his father's face, because at this point, because of the little spat that him and his wife got into in the morning, he wasn't able to get that good morning loving, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So he's feeling a little bit deprived on the intimacy side of it. Then he's dealing with the stress and the pressure of the conversation that they had, and thinking about what was it that he said to her before he left, and does he need to do anything to correct that before he gets home. On top of that, he's thinking about, okay, I'm buying these groceries. I have the money for the groceries. Man, this is like way out of what I thought it was going to be. Not only do I have to make sure I take care of this, but Lil Man's birthday is coming up. Oh, the light bill. So he's trying to think through how he's going to manage all of these things. All of the stuff is happening at one time. Again, Lil Man doesn't see all of this. He's just a product of the environment. He just knows that he's provided for it. He knows that there's something that's out there that he's supposed to have. So then what happens, and we know this, little kids are the best at overcoming objections. Like, you can tell a kid no, and they will come back to you over and over and over again with different ways of asking, if not the exact same way. They do not give up on it. So Lil Man asks again. He's like, Dad, please, can I get this? Oh my God, da, 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 da. You never give me anything. And then Dad just pops off. I said no. You didn't do this. You haven't been good enough. You don't deserve that right now. Now that one comment, that one quick response from Dad to Lil Man, it's done something in his mind. It's a voice. It's something that's been said to him. And now, not only has it been said to him, he's processing it. So he kind of cowers down and he's thinking through, Lil Man, 5 years old, trying to figure out, like, man, what did I do? Did I not clean my room? Because I think I cleaned my room. I know he told me not to play on the game, but I played on it, and he's processing this. Unfortunately, that moment compounds itself over time and becomes the thought process that this child carries with him through school. By the time he hits 7, it's developed in there, it's in there. And whenever he doesn't accomplish something, he's feeling like he's not good enough because of one conversation that he had with Dad in the store because Dad was frustrated. Now, why would I tell you that? Because I wanted to illustrate to you what it looks like and where it starts off, where other voices are starting to impact the way that you think about yourself. The way that we think about ourselves, and this is why I say become a voice, be a voice, not an echo, is because we are literally living in the story that we believe about ourselves right now. We are living in the stories that have been told to us that we're holding on to, that we believe about ourselves right now in this very moment. We are living in the echoes of somebody else's voice that has contributed to us in our situation. And that's why we're here, because we're replaying what they said to us that's holding us back. Now, this may not be every single one of us. And I'm saying we because I want to be inclusive. I don't want anybody to feel left out. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm singling them out or pointing them out. But a lot of what we deal with in our lives are like the negatives are because we're believing what somebody else told us is not really us. And that's what creates the negatives in our life. Listen, in our bodies, the way that it works, or the way that our brain works, this whole frontal lobe right here, this is where you process stuff. This is where you think. This is where you can make conscious decisions. All of that works for you. You got the middle brain, and your middle brain, that's your subconscious. That's where things just kind of like, it's like, okay, wait, this is what we're gonna do. All of those things play into who you are today. Every single one of those play into who you are today. And you're probably asking, well, but why is that important? It's important because if you can go back to the root of something, then you can dig the root up and you can start to get rid of the things that you don't need. That's one of the things that I want you to do. You have to start taking those things that you don't need in your life and start getting rid of them. The negative thoughts, start getting rid of them. Don't hold on to the negative thoughts. Turn your back on the negative thoughts because you weren't really the one that planted those negative thoughts in you. It was something that somebody else said. The way that our nerves work out and our nervous system, the way that the innate ability of us as human beings, the propensity of our nature is to be comfortable. We want to be comfortable. Some people are comfortable in mess. I don't know how they're comfortable in mess, but they're comfortable in mess. Some people are comfortable in drama. Some people are comfortable, and it's crazy because when I'm thinking about it, as I'm saying it, I do understand why. The reason why some people are comfortable in drama is because it allows them to hide from themselves. The reason why some people are comfortable in mess is because when there's mess, nobody else will come around and they're not exposed to the rest of the world. Those are thought processes that you have to change. Some people are they're comfortable in toxicity because when things are toxic, they feel like they're in control. You have to be that person to say, I'm going to take control of my voice. But you have to ask yourself, what are the things that I've been echoing? If our propensity as human beings, literally on a day-to-day, is to be comfortable, it is like so much better to wake up and just lay in the bed, especially when it's cold outside and you got a nice comforter and you're laying under your comforter, and when you pull your comforter back and you feel the cool air, you can just kind of pull the comforter back over you. That's comfortable. It's very comfortable not to deal with tough situations. It's very comfortable not to push yourself to be better. Those things are comfortable. And our nervous system, our bodies, our everything feels good in those situations because it's the propensity of human nature. It's just who we are. We want to be comfortable. Matter of fact, we do things saying that we're doing them with the thought in mind that we are doing it to be comfortable, right? Now, the crazy thing is that your soul, your spirit, your soul, which consists of your mind, your will, and your emotions, that's the part of you that desires growth. Your spirit desires growth. The inner you desires growth. Your dreams, your aspirations, your visions, all of those things are connected to your soul because that's the thing that hungers. And I love it. When I say that, I think of Les Brown. You gotta be hungry. But that's the thing in your life that hungers to be better. There's a part in every single one of us that is so hungry for success. And not just success on a level of seeing millions and billions and trillions of dollars, but success on levels of just being like abundant in your health, abundant in your relationships, prosperous in your living, like, knowing that you're doing the right things. The question and the challenge all at the same time is, what do you have to change to make that happen? And the thing that you have to change, and I'm going to put this out there, is you have to stop being an echo. You have to be a voice. You have to take control of your voice. You have allowed other people to speak things into your life that have caused you to be where you are. You've echoed the wrong things. When it comes to media, people like, listen, man, news outlets, even social media, all of that stuff is designed, honestly, to stimulate. And this is the thing that I was studying out earlier, I'm so glad I found it. It's designed to stimulate the part of the brain that recognizes negative before positive and link you in and loop you in. It's all about an algorithm. It's all about for networks. It's all about being able to capture your mind, bring you in, so now that they can put you on a number chart to say, okay, these are our ratings, so that they can go get more money. They stimulate you with negativity so that they can make more money off of you. And a lot of people don't see it like that, but that's the reality of it. If you are somebody who is in a workspace, if you are somebody who is if you deal with people, if you work for somebody, if you have your own business, it is so important. And this should be everybody. It's so important that in the morning you take that opportunity to put positive in. Listen, we are creatures of habit, and there's also this thing called the law of conformity. You have to look at the people who you're surrounded by. Who are the people who are in your sphere of influence? Yo, what's up? Happy New Year to you. I see you. I see you, one and only. I see you. Happy New Year. Um, but yeah, you have to be those. You have to be those people who are controlling your voice. Who controls your voice? Who's telling you who you are? Is it social media? Is it, are you looking at the posts that all these people are putting up? And I'm gonna tell you this, just because somebody puts a flashy post up and it says some stuff that agrees with what you're thinking or how you're feeling, it does not mean that it's accurate, it's correct, or it's right. It doesn't. It just means that it felt good to you because it agrees with what you feel in the moment, right? I've looked at posts before and be like, oh, that's good. But it's because in my mind, I'm thinking like, man, I wish so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden I see a post like, oh, that's exactly what they need to hear. No, it ain't exactly what they need to hear. You better like rethink that. Why echo something? So let me give you the definition of an echo. So an echo is basically, it's in close parallel or repetition to an idea. It's basically saying something over and over again that belonged to somebody else. It's like taking somebody else's idea and reduplicating their idea. Taking the way that somebody else feels about a situation, you feel that way because they felt that way. Taking somebody's style and you are now replicating their style. I see that all the time, especially with my ladies. Ladies, you guys are good at this. Matter of fact, if you're a lady and you get your lashes done, and I know some of y'all are like, oh, la, not the lashes. Oh, my God. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you, if you're getting your lashes done, why are you getting your lashes done? What was it that got you to a point where you stopped liking just your natural, beautiful lashes and wanting to add lashes? I'm not against them. I think that they are beautiful. I think they're absolutely amazing. But I've started to notice, like, okay, I can tell what the next eyelash phase is going to be based off of who I see rocking the lashes. If I see Cardi B and she got some lashes, all right, that's going to be the new lash look. If I see Beyonce rocking some lashes, that's going to be the new lash look. Even when it comes down to like clothing, I've seen women that have seen an outfit on a celebrity and then they'll rock the same outfit. In their mind, they look like the celebrity, but you're echoing somebody else. I've learned, and I learned this a long time ago, that if you don't echo people, in essence, you're going to follow people. If you're going to follow people, you got to follow people who through faith and patience have inherited the promises. They got to have good fruit on their life. You got to know like what's the struggle that they went through to get to where they're at if you're going to follow them. What are they giving you? Are they actually giving you substance, or are they giving you things that are challenge that are causing you to have to work harder to be a what you call a better you? Now, there's differences in somebody pushing you, like a coach. Like I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, and I push the people that I work with. I'm a consultant. I push the people that I work with to become better. And sometimes those things are challenging. And I tell everybody that I work with at some point in one of our conversations, you're going to be angry with me, you're going to be mad at me. And the reason you're going to be angry with me and mad at me is because I'm pushing you to be a better you, and it's uncomfortable. I'm taking you away from what your nervous system likes, which is comfort, and I'm putting you into a place of the thing that your soul likes, which is growth and development. You have to really start looking at yourself and asking yourself, what are those things in my past that have developed me to be where I am right now? What are the things that I've started changing? I know a lot of people who have changed a lot of things, but they still haven't quite grasped the concept of taking full control of their voice. And I'm all about helping you to take control of your voice. So even in the things that I'm talking about right now, you know, the I'm gonna tell you how this works. Let me break it down to you. So I heard a story about how an ant should represent our conscious mind, right? And let's let the ant, let's okay. And this is how we do. We'll read a book. We'll watch a video. We will we'll be studying something and it'll just hit home with us. And all of a sudden, or we'll go to a conference and we come out and we are like lit. We're ready. We're like, yeah, this is me. So let that be your conscious mind. And so let that be the ant. And in your conscious mind, you're this ant and you're like, you know what? I'm headed north. North is where my success is. North is where my destiny is. North is where my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, my promotion, that is where I'm headed. So as that ant, you take off and this ant starts marching. And it's singing this song. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. You remember the song back in the day. If you was in elementary school and you had a teacher who made you sing that song to get everybody lined up, then you know what I'm talking about. All right. So you're singing the song to yourself and you're marching in the right direction. Now, the problem is this ant is marching over the back of an elephant. And this elephant is your subconscious mind, and the elephant is headed south. Huge problem. Huge problem. Because if the ant is trying to go north, but the ant is on the back of an elephant that is going south, it's losing more ground than what it's gaining. And that's how our minds work. The elephant represents our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind represents the voices that everybody else has been putting at us, been throwing at us, the things that news have said to us. Do you know that every time that you hear no, you got to hear at least 16 to 17 yeses right after that to affirm that you're actually doing the right thing? It's not easy to overcome a no. Yes, we look at no and we say, hey, don't look at no as a rejection. It's just a redirection. Yes, it's a redirection. And if you can really capture that in your thought process and now you're thinking about it and now you're processing it, now when you look at no, it's no longer, oh, I can't do that. You're like, okay, I just got to find a better way to do it. And you don't need somebody to come back to you and tell you yes 17 times, 16 times before you get it right. Every time you hear a negative comment about yourself, you got to hear 16 to 17 positive comments to overcome that one negative comment. But if you take control of your voice and you don't allow the negativity of the world to plaster itself across the canvas of your imagination, then it doesn't take that 16 or 17 positive comments to overcome that one. I really hope that you're following me on this. We all have elephants in our life because that's our subconscious mind. How big or how small that elephant is determined by how much you echo other people's stuff. An echo, it dissipates in the distance. It doesn't last. Matter of fact, your voice should be so loud that somebody else starts echoing you. And that's not a bad thing. I want people to echo the things that I say because that means that my voice is reaching them. But eventually I want them to take the things that they're echoing that I say and lock it into memory and start making it a part of their own voice. There's this thing called the law of conformity, right? And what that space basically says is that who you are around the most, you will become. So let's say if you are a person who is, let's say that you're a non-alcoholic, right? You don't drink at all. But everybody around you, 100% of the time, they're alcoholics. Over time, you will start to drink and you will become an alcoholic. If you're not a drug addict, but everybody that you hang with on a continual basis are all drug addicts, you will eventually become a drug addict. Matter of fact, let me tell it to you like this. Your favorite music. Like me, I'm very eclectic. And I think I got that way because I was around a lot of people who had different music flavors and different music types, right? So even with that, let's say I'll choose my neighbor across the street. I got my neighbor, right? So I'll take me and Jim. Let's just say, and me and Jim probably like the same kind of music, but let's say we like different type of music. Let's say Jim can't stand jazz. He's just more of like he's more of a classical rock type person. And I love jazz. And then for about something happens and me and Jim got to ride to work together. Or I'm taking him, we're going the same direction. Let's just say we're going to work together. And every day we get in the car, the first 2 to 3 days, Jim's sitting there like, shaking his head. It's like, probably has his earbuds in, listening to his own music. By day 3, Jim is tapping his toe to the jazz music. By day 5, Jim's humming the tunes when he gets out of the car with me. By day 7, Jim even knows the words to some of the songs. Why? Because it's the law of conformity. What's happened is over that period of time, he's listened enough to the environment. We are creatures of the environment that we're in. He's listened enough. We conform to that environment, to the environment, that now it becomes something that he really enjoys and he likes. I can remember a song that came out years ago. I could not stand this song. I thought it was the stupidest song in the world. I ain't gonna sing the song, but it was like boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. And it had a dance and everything. And when it first came out, I'm like, yo, this is the dumbest song in the world. Why are y'all even listening to it? And I couldn't stand it. I let them play it at the workplace. Every time I gave somebody a ride home, they were playing it. Before you know it, I'm doing the dance. Dun, 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 hey. I'm moving with it. Why? Law of conformity. And now to this day, I laugh because I'm like, man, it's still a stupid song, but it's a cool song. It's hot. And I mean, I'm on the fence with it because in my mind, it's conformed. The way that we have to look at our minds, and the reason I'm talking about our mind is because that is truly where your voice is going to come from. Your voice doesn't come from inside and your voice box and all that stuff. Yes, that's what produces the sound, but that voice, that thought process behind your voice is all up in your mindset. The thing that causes you to feel like you can or you can't do something is in your mindset. The thing that causes you to feel accomplished or like you failed is in your mindset. All of those things are in that part of your body called your soul, your mind, your will, your emotions, that is attached to that part of you that wants to grow. All of that is. And that's why I'm hitting on this stuff. That's why I'm talking about it. So when you're looking at this, what I want you to do is I want you to challenge yourself and ask yourself, what are the things that I am echoing? And why am I echoing them? I'll ask that question again. What are the things that I am echoing and why am I echoing them? Now, you may ask yourself, okay, if I've identified that, how do I change my mindset? How do I make it to where my ant is much bigger than my elephant and I'm not being led by my subconscious mind? See, your subconscious mind, your mind is like, if I can use an analogy, your mind is like it's like a compass. And a compass, the arrow will always point to true north. The difference is that you have control of this compass. You can actually reach in and grab this compass and you can take it and turn it and you can move it to wherever you want it to go. That's all you. Like you can absolutely do that. That is something that you have complete control over. You can grab that compass and you can point it to wherever you want it to go. So let's say let's say, man, perfect example. We are creatures of habit. We train ourselves. So let's say that you're a person and you're like, man, I'm gonna get in shape. I'm gonna get in shape. You keep saying, I'm gonna get in shape. This year I'm getting in shape. But every single day you go to McDonald's, you're eating off dollar menu at McDonald's. You go to Burger King, you're eating off the dollar menu at Burger King. You go into Wendy's, eating off dollar menu at Wendy's. Some people are like, well, they got healthy stuff. You go into Popeyes, you eating Popeyes chicken all the time. Like everything that you're doing is you're ordering out. You're not eating anything that's healthy, right? You yourself, you're saying, I'm going to get in shape. You may even show up at the gym. But if you do not line up your mindset the right way, then every time you drive past a Popeyes, a McDonald's, a Burger King, a Wendy's, whatever it is, you're going to stop and you're going to turn in. You're going to grab you some fries. You're going to find excuses as to why this is healthy or why you can eat this because you have trained your mind, your subconscious mind. It's just automatic. It's just, you've done it for so long that the routine just kind of flips back. They say that it takes 21 days to set a routine, but it only takes 3 days to lose that routine, right? 21 days to set the routine, 3 days to lose the routine. So if you're going to set a behavior, that's why I'm doing 90 days. You set a behavior by pushing yourself to a limit to where you've done it so much that now it becomes muscle memory. Unfortunately, for a lot of us, with our due north, with us grabbing grabbing that compass arrow and pointing it to the direction that we want to go in, we've already set our compass, our internal compass in our mind to be like, McDonald's is McDonald's is the place I want to be. I'm eating at McDonald's. McDonald's is not, that's where you're at with it, right? You're talking about getting in shape. Now, the minute that you get hurt, the minute that something happens and you can't make it to the gym, you stop going to the gym for a couple of days, then all of a sudden, guess what? You're going to McDonald's. And then you're giving yourself an excuse as to why you can't really keep going. You're giving yourself a reason as to why you can't go to the gym. I'm gonna tell you that happened to me. Like I haven't actually been to the gym in about a month, right? Not because I don't want to go, right? Because I really want to go to the gym. It's just that with everything that's been going on, I just have not been able to make it to the gym. And the difference between me and somebody else is that my eating habits didn't change. I didn't go and just start eating a bunch of junk food and just like, well, I ain't going to the gym, so blah, blah, blah. I didn't do any of that. What I've done is I'm still doing stuff here around the house that I can do, push-ups, sit-ups. I got a little pull-up bar. I put it up every once in a while, do some pull-ups. I'm still eating the right food, vegetables, salmon, potato. Like I'm doing the things that I normally would do. Why? Because I set that as my north. I set that as like, that's where the area that my compass needs to point into. Have I had those opportunities where I could easily like let my arrow go back? I have, but I think that because I've been putting my arrow in the right direction for so long that now I've set a new north for my compass. So when I go to try to eat junk food, it just don't agree with me. Why? Because I'm not echoing everybody. I'm not echoing the things of my past. The reason why I'm on here doing these lives is because I refuse to be an echo of the things of my past. There are certain things that it is great to echo. I know yesterday we had a conversation with Biminette, and she was saying that when she prays the Bible, she prays the Word, and I was letting her know like that. Hey, listen, that is the Word, and that's what it's designed for. God gave that to us. Say, hey, these are your word. This is for you. You can take those things and you can echo them to a point where you have them hidden in your heart. That's for every single one of us. The things that we echo them to a point that they become a part of us. And that's why I'm saying be a voice and not an echo. That's why I'm saying take control of your voice. That's why I'm having this conversation now. That's why I'm talking to you about the things that I'm talking to you about. Your environment, like I mean, it's crazy because if you echo the wrong things, you're in an environment where the wrong things are being given to you. I'll say it again, just for those who weren't listening. If you echo the wrong things, meaning your belief system is set up on the wrong things, and I'm not talking about a religious thing. I'm talking about like your health. I'm talking about if you're a person who carries on a lot of drama, you have a lot of thinking, like a mindset changing to do. You have to, I would recommend that you get some super professional help and just sit and talk with a therapist or a great coach or somebody so that they can help you like break down what it is that's causing you to fall into like the drama that you fall into. Because until you really isolate that and eradicate that from your life, you have to eradicate that from your life. You're going to keep experiencing the things that come along with drama. If you're a person who loves toxicity, if you're a person who loves like the downfall of everybody. Like those are things I don't understand for me because I'm a person who loves to see people succeed. My heart breaks when other people's hearts break. My heart hurts when other people's hearts hurt. I hate to see people in situations that I know that they can make it out of, and it's not for me to live their life for them. That's the best part about being a coach and being a mentor and being a consultant is that I can help you maneuver out of your situation into where you're supposed to be. The thing that I can say is that in my life, every time I ran into something, I became an expert at overcoming the obstacle. I am an expert overcomer. That's why I'm listed as an empowerment specialist, not a motivator. Anybody can motivate. Anybody can. I hear people who listen to somebody else's stuff like 24/7 and come out and regurgitate all that stuff right back like it's theirs. All right, good. It sounded dope and you did a great job. But all you're doing is you're giving people power pellets. Like on Pac-Man, when Pac-Man's going like blah, 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 and he hits that little power pellet and he charges up, blah, 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 like, and then he can eat all the ghosts. That's all. Like, I agree with motivation. Hear me say this. I absolutely agree with motivation. The thing that I'm saying is for the people who are just out here and they're looking at it as a way to make money. They're looking at it as a way. Like, I think that's the worst reason to get into the industry, just to make money, to motivate people. Listen, I'm going to empower people whether I'm making money or not. I'm going to lift people up whether I'm making money or not. And that's the difference between me and somebody else. And so when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you from a place of I've lived this thing out. I've experienced it. You know what I'm saying? I've overcome it. I've sat down and I've researched some things. And once I get those things in hand, listen, I'm a coach who has a coach. All right. I've sought out professional help before. I've sat down with a therapist before. And that's because I know the importance of it. I understand it because they can see things that I can't see. Mentors are great because they can see things that you can't see and they can help guide you through things that you need to get through. So in saying that, I want you to know that your environment will always trump your will. It will. Your environment will always trump your will. You have a mind, a will, and an emotions. There's something that's huge. There's something that's huge that Eric Thomas has said, and this is something that's become part of his mantra. I can, I will, I must. And if you listen to the story of where that came from for him, there's so much power behind what he's saying. And it's crazy because before I ever heard him saying it, I had something similar. And I was saying I can, I will. Maybe I was saying I must. I can't remember, but I remember when I heard his story, I stopped saying it because I didn't want people to feel like I was taking what he was saying and making it a part of me. And I just wasn't. I felt very good in just turning that over and being like, yo, I love the story. Yo, that is huge. I can, I will, I must. Um, yo, shout out to my girl, Tasha Renee. She says over on Facebook, motivation is a temporary high. That it absolutely is. There has to be a plan, a plan post motivation. It has to be a plan post motivation. Absolutely, yo, and that's really what it is. But like I was saying, environment trumps will. All right, and what do I mean by that? Let's say, here we go. Let's say you live in the Bahamas, but you want to wear a triple fat goose down jacket every single day. You sweating because you got on sweats, Timbs, and a triple fat goose down every single day. That is a huge down jacket for those who don't know. All right. Or if it helps you out, a North Face, a huge bubble North Face jacket. All right. So you're wearing that every day in the Bahamas. The environment, you ready? The environment is 85, 90, 95 degrees. It's by the ocean. It may rain here and there, but it stay hot. How long do you think that that person is going to actually keep wearing that triple fat goose down or that that North Face jacket? Not very long. If they want to be seen as being sane, you'll take that mug off, right? Environment trumps will. Let's take the reverse of that. Let's say that you're a person who you're like, you know what? I love this triple fat goose jacket and I live in a freezer. Well, guess what? Eventually, the environment is going to take control, and that triple fat goose is not going to keep you warm any longer, and you end up freezing. I mean, yeah, those are very basic analogies, but your environment will trump your will. So you have to ask yourself, what environment are you in? What constitutes your environment? The people that you hang out with, your family members, the people in your job, who you choose to stay in close communication with in your job, the people from your past who you choose to stay in close communication with from your past. All of those are in your environment, and they eventually, if you stay with them and they're not pointed in the same direction as you, they're going to trump your will. That's why it's important that you surround yourself with people who have your answers. Get away from people who have your problems. You want to move forward in success? Get around successful people or people who are talking about moving in the direction of success. I challenge each and every one of you guys to start doing that. Now, I told you tonight was all about taking control of your voice. The way that you take control of your voice, the number one thing that you got to do in taking control of your voice is changing your mindset. You have to change your mindset. You have to activate free will. That's what you have to do. You have to, in your mindset, say the things that I was told about myself when I was younger that were wrong, I'm not living in those things anymore. I'm activating free will. And in me activating my free will, I will freely go and find the right information and start putting the right information in. I will be a servant. I will follow the right people. I will no longer just sit around and let a bunch of garbage just pack itself into my brain, because my brain is not the garbage compactor. It's not. It's not the trash compost. And that's what happens with a lot of us, is that we'll sit and we take in all of the wrong stuff for so long that it becomes a part of us. I mentioned it yesterday, and I'll tell you again today. Like Les Brown said, when trash comes in, trash stays. I've used this analogy before. It's like if I wanted to brush my teeth and I took a toothpaste tube and I squeeze it. If I squeeze it and ketchup comes out, I'm gonna be pretty upset. That's the equivalency of somebody squeezing you after you got all this trash in your mind. What's gonna come out is a bunch of garbage. You're gonna yell at people. You're gonna disrespect people. You're gonna like fly off the handle. Like all of those things will happen. You'll be looked at as that person in the workplace that has no emotional intelligence. You'll be like, oh my God, like what is wrong with them? You'll be that person where your moral compass will always be in question. Your character will always be in question. Your integrity will always be in question. People will have a hard time following your lead because here it is, you've got all this trash that you've allowed to come in. What's the trash that comes in? Well, it's a part of the things that you allow media to pump into you. Social media, news media, like all these outlets they're just pumping in the negativity, and they're activating that part of your brain that's connected to the negativity. That's why back in the day, World Star was a big deal. The biggest fights, World Star. That's why now Whenever there's something that's going wrong, the first thing that people want to do is take their cameras out and try to capture it, because they feel like by capturing the thing that's going wrong, oh man, my likes, my follows, my views are going to go up. And it probably will, because people are drawn to that, unfortunately. So let me give you some steps that you can take to start to change your mind, to activate that free will and change that mindset. So my step one that I got for you is stop putting the wrong programming in. That's my step one. Stop putting the wrong things in. That's my first one for you. All right. I'll say it again. Stop putting the wrong things in. The more you put the wrong things in, the more the wrong things are going to come out. The more you're that's the reason why people will go from job to job working hard and still ending up making the same amount of money. That's why people will leave the workspace and start doing their own thing and only able to create the same amount of income that they were making when they were in the workspace, because they have let the wrong things come in, and there's a lid to where they're going. That's why people will find themselves in situations. You have these amazing people, but they procrastinate on everything because the wrong things have come in. That's why people will be late to work all the time, because the wrong things have been coming in. They don't see the value in the exchange. They don't see it as I'm taking from myself, or I'm taking from my family, or I'm taking from I'm taking food out of the mouths of like, look at it in a way that it makes sense to you. Start to take these things and put them in like some sort of a order where now you're putting your priorities in the right order. All right, put the right things in. That's my step two. Start putting the right things in. So stop putting the wrong things in and start putting the right things in. How do you start putting the right things in? Listen, for me, shoot, I do a devotional every single day. Right now, I'm just reading through the Bible. All right. There's some great stuff in there. And the thing I love about the Bible is it tells me the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, all at the same time. There's stories to be learned. But I also will listen to those people who are accomplished. There's certain leaders that I'll go and I'll check out their podcast. And I'm not just listening to it and taking it in and saying, this is exactly what I need to do. No, I'm listening and I'm taking it in. I'm listening and I'm taking it in. And I'm saying, okay, now let me study it out and see how this applies to my life. So I take it and I figure out how it applies to my life. And it's always about take the meat, leave the bones. The meat are the things that you will be substantial to you, that'll feed you. And the bones are the things that, I don't know anybody who eats bones, but if you eat bones, then hey, so be it. But the bones are the things that you just throw out. It doesn't apply to you directly. Okay? There are plenty of outlets out there for you to be able to do this. The third thing that I have for you is this. Get the things that shouldn't be in there in your mindset out of there. You got to get them out of there. And you're probably like, well, how do I get them out of there? I'm glad you asked. Get yourself a great coach, a mentor. That's what you have people like me for. That's what you have people on the Wisdom app for. That's why you're surrounded by all these people who they're coaches and they're mentors and they're consultants and they're like, I am an empowerment specialist for a reason. Reach out to me. Go onto the website, jarvishenderson.com. Go ahead and set up a consultation, a jump consultation. It's free. We'll get a 30-minute conversation to see how I can work with you. And then we'll talk about some pricing and everything, and we can get you set up, and I'll coach you. Give me 3 months, and you'll be a different person. Give me 6 months, you'll be an incredibly different person. Stick with me for a year, you're going to be an absolutely supercalifragilisticexpialidocious individual. Because I know how, like I said, I've become an expert overcomer. I've become an expert at getting over things, getting through things. Every trial leads to a triumph. Every mess leads to a message. Every test leads to a testimony. Like you are not the victim, you are the victor. But it all starts in making sure that you take control of your voice. And the way that you take control of your voice is by actually changing your mindset so that now the voice that's speaking to you is your voice and the voices that you choose to have speaking to you. And those voices that you choose to have speaking to you are able to speak to you because you have activated your free will. And in activating your free will, you have allowed for those voices to come in and make a difference in your life. And if you keep this up and you keep going, now you're ready for impact. Now you're ready to change the workspace. Now you're ready to change your family. Now you're ready to change your friend group. Now you're ready to take your business to the next level because you've taken the time to actually stop and say, I'm taking control of my voice. What is it that you have that has been stopping you from taking control of your voice? What are the voices that have been playing in your mind that have been echoes of negativity, echoes of what you can't do, echoes of what you should not do, echoes of who you're supposed to be? Like, make sure that if there's echoes of anything, that is echoes of all of the right things that are supposed to come in. Don't just be an echo. Matter of fact, I'm telling you, there's certain things that you can echo, but eventually you want it to be your voice. There are certain mentors, certain leaders that I will echo them until it becomes a part of me. I don't want it to just dissipate into the distance. I am not going to be a copy of anybody. I'm not. Copies are less valuable than the original. You are an original. It would be a shame to see you die as a carbon copy. One of the things that we talked about yesterday, and I think it was Jason who brought this up. Shout out to my man Jason Kente. He said he brought up something that Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe said, and he was talking about how the graveyard is the richest place in the world. And I've heard of quite a few people say that. And even in studying that out, the graveyard is the richest place in the world. It is the one place where there are hundreds of thousands of unfulfilled dreams, unfulfilled desires, unfulfilled aspirations, unfulfilled visions, because they never put the pen to the paper and they never took the step forward. They continue to lead their lives as echoes instead of becoming a voice. And once you become a voice, at that point, you can literally be heard. I'm just letting you know. You can't be heard until you are a voice. So, just a quick recap. Tonight, be a voice, not an echo. Take control of your voice. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to understand that we are creatures of habit. All right? Understand that your voice has got to be one of the loudest voices in your ear. All right? You have to understand that you have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Figure out how to get your subconscious mind to a place where it actually does exactly what your conscious mind is telling it to do. And the way you do that is by changing your mindset. And the way you change your mindset is by activating your free will. And when you activate your free will, you are intentional about setting yourself in the right environments, in the right places, around the right people, doing the right things. All right? No longer will you fall subject to the law of conformity unless your confirmation is happening with you sitting in a group of people doing the right things. All right? The 3 things that you're going to do: stop putting the wrong things in. Stop watching the wrong shows. Stop just sitting there soaking up all the wrong information. 2, start putting the right things in. So you're going to start watching the right things, reading the right things, listening to the right things. And then 3, get the things that shouldn't be in your mind out of your mind. And you're going to do that by finding yourself a great coach, a great mentor. I recommend this one guy I know, Jarvis Henderson. Check him out. www.jarvishenderson.com. Sign up for a jump consultation. But yeah, so that's what I got for you tonight, everybody. I have enjoyed speaking with you. Tomorrow we're going to be on part 3 of this, and it's going to be another perspective. We're going to hit it on something else. It's going to be still be a voice, not an echo, but it's going to be in a different part of life. And so I want to help you guys at the beginning of this year. Let's get it lined up. Let's do it, man. Let's get it. Hey, I want to let you know and remind you that we have Impact Rally 2022 coming up at the end of this month, January 28th and 29th, right here in the Atlanta area. Like I said, I have a meeting with my team this week. And so we're going to talk about exactly what number we need to cut this off at. Just because I want to be conscious of people who are traveling, COVID procedures. I want to make sure we're spaced out properly. But this is a leadership and personal development rally like none other. It's going to impact your life in a major way and then allow you to go home and impact the lives of those people around you. So you can go ahead and register for that right now at jarvishenderson.com, or you can text me at 386-200-1394. So that's what I have for you tonight. I look forward to jumping on with you tomorrow night. If there is, without any further ado, before we get out of here, we always rock out of here with a nice little song. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to ask you guys, what song do you want to hear? So if you have a song that you want to hear, you need to let your boy know ASAP. Because if you don't let me know ASAP, I'm just gonna pick a random song, and that's gonna be the song that we're running out of here on. So I'm gonna give you guys a second. I know that it takes people just a second to type that into the chat. But while people are typing that into the chat, I will say this: Wisdom app. I absolutely adore the Wisdom family, and I appreciate you guys. I'm glad I've met some great people in the app and some great people who are a part of the Wisdom culture. I would love to continue to connect with you. So please definitely follow any of my social media handles, reach out to me, text me. I'd like to network and grow together, as well as set up something for you guys, anybody from the Wisdom app that wants to come to the Impact Rally as well. For IG, I love you, IG. IG, you like the OG, triple OG, OG, triple OG. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been around since you've been around. So thank you for sticking in there. And then for Facebook and YouTube, hey, listen, family, you already know how we do. We're going to make it happen. So I'm just going to randomly pick something. I have no idea what's going to come up. I was trying to wait for people to come in and make it happen. But let's see what we got. All right. Let's see. This is random. Uh-oh. Got a little John B. Okay. Hey. Going out on a slow one. They don't know, yo. Hey, listen, I have absolutely enjoyed being on here with you guys. Man, I'm going to say peace out to Instagram first. IG, holla at you, love you. Deuces. Have a good one. We'll see y'all tomorrow. All right. And then for my people here with me on YouTube, Instagram, or YouTube, Facebook, and Wisdom, hey, I'm so glad you guys are here. Make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page, because I'm going to set up some private mentoring sessions, some private accountability sessions, some private coaching sessions on there for people, for you to be able to get in. You won't be able to get in on that unless you go ahead and subscribe to YouTube. I'm thinking about doing it on Facebook as well, but I know there's a lot of Facebook groups out there. So just get yourself in there. I will holler at y'all later. All right. So everybody who's on Facebook and YouTube, love y'all. As a matter of fact, hold on. How does she do it? I don't know. Either way, I'm trying to make it hard. Y'all know. Y'all see it. Love y'all. See you guys tomorrow.